Welcome to the Almega Podcast, where we delve into the inspiring stories of entrepreneurs, motivational coaches, and business leaders. Join us as we hear about their journey to success and the challenges they faced along the way. We'll uncover their secrets to perseverance and determination and gain valuable insights into what it takes to reach your goals. Their journey may not be beautiful, but it is always purposeful. So sit back, relax, and be ready to be inspired by those who have dared to dream big and make it a reality. Hello, everybody. How you doing? This is Almega. Welcome to the brand new debut of the Almega Podcast, aka the A.M.P. This show is basically going to be focused on the amazing individuals that have achieved amazing heights and success. Building these roads and yellow brick roads, and hopefully they can show us how to navigate ourselves, to reach the goals that they've have. And today is an amazing example. The individual we have today is a motivational speaker. He's an autism advocate. He is an author. He is the founder of CrazyFitnessGuy. Let me introduce the one, the only, the very amazing Mr. Jimmy Clare. How are you doing today?
Pretty good.
Thank you for coming on today and sharing a bit about your story. I can't wait to chat with you because I've seen you have quite a story, actually. You've gone through a lot, but obviously you've never let anything stop you from achieving your goals. And here we are today. The crazy fitness guy, the next big Arnold Schwarzenegger, if you will. And let's make it happen, Jimmy. So just a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and a bit about your background.
So I'm from Pennsylvania. I still live in Pennsylvania. I like to read. I like to write. I like to play video games, and I like to work out 6 to 9 times a week.
6 to 9 times. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's more on the 6 times a week. I used to do 9, but it was overkill. And I also like to hang out with friends and family, etc.
Excellent. So Jimmy, just a bit about you growing up. You have a story to share. Apparently, as you were growing up, you were dealing with a bit of a situation. So what were you dealing with as you were growing up that inspired you to become the leader that you are today?
So I had people tell me I wouldn't be able to read higher than a second grade level. I had other people tell me I wouldn't be able to walk without braces or crutches. I had neither. And I also had to overcome 9-year surgeries. I live with spinal stenosis in my neck, which makes it hard for me to turn my head left and right, up and down.
Is that something from birth?
Yep.
Wow.
And I also, on top of that, I'm also autistic. And I also had to go through 8 years of bullying with a school district that basically kind of said that I was a slow learner and I wouldn't be able to do X, Y, and Z. And the ironic thing part about it is it took them 100+ times to figure out that bullying exists in the school. And it's like, and you say I'm slow.
Apparently, exactly. Who was really the one that wasn't very aware? And I'm sorry that you had to deal with that type of thing. So, as a young man in school, how did you deal with that?
Well, how I dealt with it was the persistence of, in my own way of reporting it to principals and my teachers. Now, I'll admit I didn't do the best job of maybe the most appropriate way of reporting things, like because when the bullying was happening, they said that they always told me that asking for help is a sign of weakness. So I was like, crap, and and like back then I was like, how do I get out of this annoying, crappy situation? And so I decided to do the very. I decided to go the extra mile and kind of avoid certain situations. Like some of the bullies were on my bus going home from school, and so I started skipping the bus. And because I live so close to my house, but in the winter months it really sucks uh, to walk, and and like so I live probably like less than, I would say like 3 minutes, 5-ish minutes away from the house, from my school to the house, and but I had to cross a lot of streets, etc. But uh, but I mainly took the bus. But my point was I was skipping taking the bus, and my special education teacher at the time, she knew that was something was off because I'm a person of habit, etc. And
Yeah.
I like my routines. And when my routine's off, I figured I was hoping that she would buy it. That one of my teachers held me back because she wanted to talk to me about something, but she actually followed up with that lead, and she said, she's like, I know you're lying. And it's like, crap. But in a way, I was very happy too because she because instead of me asking her for help, she came to me. And in which ways I was like, technically, I did not ask for help.
Yeah.
I mean, this was just my thinking back then because the bully screwed with my brain and everything.
I'm
And
sorry,
so
but
I was like, here's how I can avoid this. And yeah, so
okay.
it was my persistence with my seventh grade teacher, my guidance counselor, but then went also into high school and everything. And I stood up to the boys when I lost weight with P90X. And
You did P90X?
mhm.
Oh my gosh. Now, I understand you probably, I don't think you only did this once, right?
I did it twice later on, and
Oh my God. How could you do P90? I mean, I've seen this and listen, look at me. I'm an older dude. I'm like, I think doing once I'd probably die. And you did it twice?
yeah, but the twice didn't happen until like years later.
Okay.
And but but basically, I lost 30 pounds with it. I
Wow,
mean,
30 pounds.
yeah,
Amazing.
I was nearly a beast for my age group back then.
So may I ask, how did you discover what was
Infomercial.
P90X? Info. Okay. Infomercials you were watching, you're like, okay, I gotta do this. You really said I
Well,
after
it was a
seeing that, you
commercial
said I
on
gotta do
TV.
it.
It was a commercial on TV. And it wasn't like a dedicated infomercial channel. It was just me and my dad were just watching TV one night, and then
Yeah.
we just discovered it, and we both did it together. The
Well,
only,
did he finish it?
yeah, we finished it. The only one thing we didn't do that we probably should have done, and I do not recommend this to for anyone doing this. But at the time when we did it, we started on at 6:30 at night one night, and but it said please consult your doctor. Now we ignored it because it was either now or never,
Yeah.
and so we went ahead and did it, and it hurt, and we knew, but over the years, because of my neck issue, I knew what I needed to stay away from and what I should go light on or anything. So
Yeah.
it wasn't that big of a deal. But like I said, always consult your doctor first. I I admit I should have listened to my own advice, but I mean back then I didn't really have any advice. I just wanted to stand up to the bullies. And when I stood up to the bullies, I called them every single name in the book. I cursed, I
And
yelled, I screamed.
how long? did it take for you to finally stand up?
I didn't stand up to the bullies till I was in 11th grade.
Oh wow, so you took that. Wow, I'm sorry you even had to deal with that. That's not fair, and it's a shame that people gotta treat others so badly for absolutely no reason. It's just their own insecurity at the end of the day. It's a shame.
Yeah,
There's still greatness in you, and just they couldn't shine as bright as you. They were trying to dim your light. So, and I'm happy that you actually stood up and made sure that your light was gonna shine as bright as it did.
yeah. I was gonna say I read an article that there's a school there's a I think there was a school district in Michigan or some other state where to combat bullying, and of course I think they need proof, and they were creating ways to get proof, but if they found a kid bullying another person in school, uh, that family gets a fine of some sort.
Oh,
Uh,
really?
and it's
Oh,
like
wow.
interesting. And of course, when I was telling this to my parents, they said to me, "It's like, well, they they got to have solid evidence because it could just be a he said, she said, they
Of
said
course.
thing." And I said, and it's like, obviously, but they must be finding some way to get the proof. And it's like that. And it's like there's a lot of technology out there, and there's
Oh,
sometimes
absolutely.
very little pieces of technology that you can stick anywhere, and you can see everything at a bird's eye angle.
Yeah. Let me
So
ask you something here then. So, here you are, you finally stood up to bullies, right? Um, and what was the reaction like, and how did that lead you to become even a motivational speaker? What are those emphasis in speaking up?
uh, basically, it was the incidents of my school district not listening very well, and then
Mm,
also because you know, in some of my school districts growing up, some of the parents said that people in special education classes are re- resource hogs, and suck the resources out from under the school. And and what's ironically about that too is we always got the secondhand items from other classes that are like ripped up books and whatnot,
uh,
and
not
so
fair.
and it's like, and we're the resource hogs, and it's
Yeah,
like,
right.
hey, but it wasn't just that though. My school district also did something that really should be illegal, and I found out later in life, and I don't know if it was illegal at the time when they did it, and but they used restraint on me in elementary school,
Oh, wow.
and so they wrapped my arms in front of me and pulled from behind,
Oh,
and
wow.
they and to this day, uh, I still get some nightmares about it, and it hurt. I had different bruises on my arms. I mean, just like uh, not like black and blue bruises, but it was like fingerprint bruises. But they lasted
Of
a few
course.
days, and
I
they stretch
understand.
out some of my shirts, uh,
Wow.
and and according, but again, I don't know if it was illegal. I didn't know if it was illegal at the time or illegal or whatnot,
Wow.
because when this was going on, I didn't know if this was I didn't know if everyone went through this or whatnot. And uh, my elementary school actually suspended me for throwing a pencil across the room.
Oh
And I was
my
like,
gosh, really?
what? I don't remember if it hit anybody, but it's like, what 8-year-old kid that hasn't thrown a pencil? And it's like, it's, on, it's like, and it's like, okay. And I tipped over a desk, and it's like, what 8-year-old kid haven't tipped over a desk either? And
Wow,
I was
crazy.
like, I admit, I shouldn't have done that. I probably should have handled my annoyances with stuff, but it probably could have been all avoided. But the school was doing just a lot of other stuff. Like, uh, I don't like surprises. That's like my computer not working to go on here today, but also I'm a big fan of surprises. Like when there was fire drills, I I had it in my IEP my IEP that I should be notified if there's going to be a fire drill within like an hour to a 30-minute time frame, so I can know what to expect.
Yeah,
They just ignored that. I'm like, wow.
that's
And it's
all right.
like if I was in charge, and it's like you guys would be so fired, all of you. Uh,
Oh, so that, but they weren't respecting what you were dealing with, and it just went just wow, that's a shame. Sorry I had to deal with that. But I got to understand something here because here you are dealing with all these things, right? How did that even inspire you to become a motivational speaker?
well, it inspired me because to be a motivational speaker is because in college, well, when I got further in high school, and I had to take in 3 years off of after graduation from high school. Uh, then I went to college, and I had to do a lot of advocating for myself. I advocated a lot later on in high school as well,
Hmm.
and I was like, I was like, there's got to be, I wouldn't say an easier way, but there's got to be a more, like a different approach to things, because no one should have to go through all the hell I went through just to get the help and support they need. Every year, my parents had to uh, fight the school on certain things, getting me a one-on-one helper, and it's like, oh, Jimmy doesn't need a helper, and it's like, you guys are a bunch of morons. And it's funny though, in some of these meetings that I gone through, it was like watching a political debate, and because I was at the head of the table in these meetings, and I was like, "This is good for Jimmy." So I said, "No, this is not good for Jimmy." And then it goes back and forth, and I'm like, "Jimmy's right here at the head of the table, thinking." Get me the hell out of this meeting. And I was like, what the
Jimmy
hell am I
just wants
doing
out.
here? And I wasn't even able to talk in my own meeting because it's like these older
Oh
fellows
wow,
and it's like they might get offended by you. It's like, but this is a meeting about me, right? I'm not allowed to
that's
talk though.
insane.
So,
Oh my god.
but to overall answer your question, uh, that's what inspired me to be a motivational speaker is to uh, uh, just to be a, is to help others to navigate through so that they don't have to go through all the crap I had to go through. And I was like, this got to be like an even, like a middle. So it's like not too
Yeah,
annoying, not too easy, because what's in life is really easy. So it's like,
yeah.
where's that fine line in the middle? And I was like, doesn't can't be too easy, but it shouldn't be this freaking difficult.
Agreed. 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 So, what's the dream goal here? What's the end goal for the journey that you're on?
Who said this is an end goal? I'm not ending.
No, no, not that you're ending, but what are we looking for based on the mission that you're on?
Basically, my mission is to help educate people on and off the autism spectrum to live healthier lifestyles, and also teach people about educating people about autism and sharing what other extra challenges that are on the spectrum or off the spectrum, and just give people a unique voice and share that, hey, I'm for the autism community. And I'm autistic, and it's not a disease. It doesn't need to be cured. It's just a different way of learning. I don't
Nice.
think anyone learns the same way. It might
They
be a little
don't.
similar, but everyone learns at their own
Yeah.
pace and
Yeah.
everything.
I'm very different. I'm very hands-on. Like, don't talk to me. Just, let me do it. Let me drive the vehicle, and I could do it that way. But if you try to talk to me, I'm like, nah, that doesn't work for me. I have to do it in order
Uh,
for me to remember.
uh, for me, it's a little bit of like kind of like I'm kind of like all three. Like I'm hands on, but I also need some people, someone like walking me through it. But also then I also need a visual as well. So that's already been
Mm.
done, and so it's like, let's say for instance, it was a Lego set. Well, I don't. I might not need someone to walk me through it, but I need a visual picture. And it's like, well, how does this come out? And I mean, if it was like a Lego set, but if it's just me building something with Legos, then that's just pure imagination.
Yeah,
But
understood, understood.
yeah.
So let me ask you. So when did you start podcasting, and what makes it different from others?
So I started podcasting in 2020, April 12th, 2020.
Okay,
And
3 years in. Congratulations. Woo.
thank you. Uh, uh, what makes it different is it's just an extension off of my brand, which has been around for almost 6 years.
Six
And
years on the brand. Congratulations. Wow.
thank you. They, and basically, what it is, it's just an extension off of my brand, which helps again people live healthier lifestyles, strictly motivational content. I had authors, entrepreneurs, nutritionists, dietitians. I just a couple of weeks ago, on my live stream, I also have a live stream as well.
A
Uh,
live stream. Uh-oh. Wait a minute, Jimmy. Wait a minute. 'Cause I love going live, obviously.
yeah,
So,
I
what was it like for you to go on your live experience? Did you choose to go live, or what was it about it that you
well,
chose to go that route?
I didn't go live until the I think the ending of 2021. And then I
Okay.
decided to go in because once the pandemic hit and everything was, all my college classes were on Zoom. And I was like, I cannot do another Zoom recording. And I was like, I'll be a guest on another someone's podcast and be a guest through Zoom if they choose to use Zoom. But I was like, I cannot physically do it anymore on Zoom, or I'm going to go mentally crazy. So I went to the live version.
Nice.
Uh, I started using Restream at first, but then when I found this deal on AppSumo, I I got uh, I I got this tool called Melon app, and I've been with Melon for the last 2 years, and
Oh,
I
great.
like the program. It's easy to use. No, it's kind of like StreamYard, but I just didn't want to pay a hefty price of over and over again since I pay for everything else for my website. So I was like, I don't want to pay for another thing.
It is the life of an entrepreneur. Let me tell you. So, have you had any dream guests on, or who is the ultimate dream guest for your podcast?
Ooh, that's a hard decision. Uh, I think one of my favorite guests I have on. Uh, well, I mean they're all my favorite, but if I had to pick a favorite, it would be my. I have a author friend and who used to be, who was one of my first Twitter followers on Twitter, and I read almost all of his books. I mean, I read like most of all of his books. I had to read his latest one, but he he's been his name is Luke Murphy. He's been on my show twice, and I always have a great conversation with him. He actually inspired me to co-author. Well, I mean, he authored his own book, but I recently co-authored a book. Just
Okay.
as that just came out January 11th this year, and uh, I I I also got invited to another co-authored book this year as well. So, uh, which is 4,500 words due by March 10th.
Oh my gosh! Look at you. You're deep in there. My goodness.
Yeah. Somebody asked me if I would ever write my own book, and it's like, one day, maybe.
One day maybe, but you got to make it happen, Jimmy, because you got to share the story about overcoming being being bullied, and fighting back and becoming this fitness. So what was it about fitness? Did you have any heroes in the fitness world that they got you into working out to be the next big thing with the guns of steel?
Uh, to be honest, no. It just once I lost that weight, I knew I wanted to keep it off,
Good.
and
Okay.
because and growing up, I had a lot of autism meltdowns. And think of a meltdown like eh, I used to thought I used to use the word like think of like a bomb exploding, but then it's more kind of like a hurricane because it gradually increases and it can go up to category 5.
Oh wow.
So, so an autism meltdown I like to consider as like a hurricane because it starts what starts off as just a few angry annoyances starts going to two, three, four, five. You just lose it. And it's like screw everything. I'm done.
Oh my goodness.
But
Oh
so
my
working
goodness.
out has helped me keep them in check.
But it's
Sometimes,
great that you even understand that you go through that, and so how did your family deal with that? With you growing up, and how did they embrace what you're doing now in podcasting?
well, I mean, growing up, they told me, well, in their own words, well, my dad's own words, I was a pain in the ass growing up.
Aren't
I
we
mean,
all though?
well, I mean, in a loving way, but still, he is. But he's proud of me that everyone's proud of me of all the stuff I've overcame. They're proud of me for starting my own business, uh, and I, I've I've accomplished a lot. I had a lot of
I could see.
opportunities that I don't think I would have. I never thought I would had. I was saying to somebody today at my college uh, that if you asked me this in third grade or elementary school, middle school, high school, I've never thought I'd be running my own business, being published in a book,
Wow.
and I was like, this is like I never thought I saw this. I never saw this coming. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm grateful for every moment and everything that I have and whatnot. I'm just saying. I mean, I thought maybe doing being a chef. I thought maybe being a personal trainer. I, I thought it was all kind of crazy things. Not one of
So
these came to this.
yeah, amazing, Jimmy. But you're doing so many things. So before we go, yeah, I mean, so if we wanted to catch up with you, is this where we go to Crazy Fitness Guy? Because I gotta know why Crazy Fitness Guy.
Well, that's a funny story about that. Uh, so the reason I came up with the name Crazy Fitness Guy is because uh, well, well, because, well, just a few years ago, uh, this person I met on Facebook, and he said he told me that if you want to be part of uh, have be ranking in Google for autism and whatnot, you have to put autism in the name. And I said, Well, people in the autism community doesn't want just to be known for autism. They want to be
Of course.
part of other people's communities and being known for other things. Just and so I was like, and so when I always knew that somewhere over the years, I never liked the word special, like special education, just because like, well, how's it special? Like, what makes it special? Maybe it should be like accommodation, etc. Because like, okay, we're accommodating you versus special, and
Yeah.
then there's a Special Olympics and best buddies and I mean, like, it might those programs might work for others, and they might enjoy it, but someone like me who's I like to call slightly autistic because I'm like maybe a few steps on the spectrum, not like
Yeah.
I'm lack of a better word they call it high functioning versus I never like that term either, but I'm
I
just
understand it though. Yeah.
but but basically uh, I created the brand Crazy Fitness Guy because I wanted to not just be about autism. I wanted to be healthy living, but I didn't want to like, oh, let's put the name autism in it. And it's like, no, 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 no,
No.
no, no, no,
Good
no.
for you.
I was like, I can put in the description, but the description is like, okay, that's fine. But just everything else is like, I'm tired of this, all these special, all this other stuff, and again, maybe some other people might not care, or they don't know the difference, or they don't know what the special means for. But someone with like me and everything, high functioning, etc., it is like it's kind of offensive. I don't like it, and
Yeah. Doesn't sound nice. I don't like it either. But you're doing an amazing job, that's for sure. And folks, there's where we're at. We're reaching out our limit. So I just want to say it to everybody. But this is who I want you to check out. I want you to learn all about Jimmy and the Crazy Fitness Guy. I want you to go to crazyfitnessguy.com. As you see, Jimmy doesn't let anything stop him from reaching his dreams and his goals. He is high functioning. Sure. You know how he's high functioning? Because he's kicking ass, high functioning, doing kick butt podcasts, kick butt content, teaching you guys how to stay healthy, how to eat well, and being the best version of you. So, Jimmy, just want to say thank you for sharing of yourself in this way and inspiring others to be able to achieve and know that they can achieve a greater goal. So, Jimmy, you rock. Is there any last words you want to state to any viewers about just being able to do things and moving forward?
uh, no. Well, one thing just to leave people with is always keep looking forward. Don't look back, and don't let the naysayers stop you, because in their own words, that's their own mindset, not yours.
Hey, you hear that? Exactly. Don't get brainwashed. Follow your own mind and heart. And with that, I'm Almega with the amazing Jim Clare. Again, check out the website. The links are below in the show notes. Show the love, support, support, support. Thank you again, everybody. And always, of course, do your best every single day. That's all we can ask for, right? Hasta la próxima, mi gente. Bye.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of the Almega Podcast. We hope you've enjoyed listening to the insights and stories from our guests. Remember, success is a journey, not a destination. And every step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to your goals. Don't give up on your dreams and keep pushing forward. Until next time, thank you for tuning in and stay motivated.